showed twins, identical twins. One twin, one twin had been having Botox for 12 years, regularly every 4 months. The other twin only did it in the latter part. Like she had only 3 sessions of Botox in the last 2 years. Thank you. Actually, meron siya. But salamat Marife, she made my makeup. Please say thank you. Anyway, so they did it, they followed them for 12 years, and these are the results. These are the areas that you share Botox, the corrugators, the forehead, and your crow's feet. Next slide. So here's the twin on the left that didn't have Botox much. And on the right, she had Botox regularly. And you can see they're identical twins, but look how much younger the one on the right is. So it prevents aging. It's not just preventing wrinkles. Here again, even the sagginess of the skin, the clarity, everything, less wrinkles. So it's really something you should start. You don't, I always, when should I start it? When you start having 5 minutes, or if you want to prevent, if you do a lot of that thing, I can't, because actually I do Botox, but then you should have Botox already. Next slide. Here's Rian Ramos. So she's 30 years old, 32. She's doing Botox. So those are usually the lines, the forehead lines, the corrugator. Now, it's not a frozen look, as you can see. She looks very natural, but that's of course because in Belo, we always try to keep it really natural. Is she talking here? Anyway, let's go to Pinky. So she's 30, and then we have Pinky, whose birthday it is today. Yes. So you can see, she kept it a secret. She's coming out in all the news shows, and I said, Pinky, admit na. I don't like. Sige na, finally I got her to admit. So here she is with her testimony. So you can see it looks natural because you can't come out on TV and look frozen. Pinky, well, next slide.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. A bullet plate? No?
Just wanted to share, I've been doing Botox here at Belo for a couple of years, and it's really not the frozen look. It's, I call it the refresh look. And let me tell you, Allergans awarded Belo as the #1 in Botox and fillers. So, you're in good hands.
So as you can see, she looks it's refreshed look. So we'll call Botox now. Not the frozen look, but the refreshed look. And the Allergans now, actually we've been #1 in Botox and fillers in the Philippines for 24 years. But they really gave us an award. Finally, they gave because we asked, how are we doing? Compare. But I only say that not to make yabang, but to show you that we do so much of it. And whenever you go to anyone, as you all know, 10,000 hours makes you an expert, and we're like 100, 200,000 hours, because you've been doing it for so long. So I think when you do Botox, that's a very, I've seen some really bad Botox, and it makes me cringe. So I think you should really always go to people who've done a lot, and fillers as well, because you want it to always look natural. At least that's what we do in Belo. If you want the more obvious look, some people like the big lips look, then you can go not to Belo because we don't do that. Russian or whatever. Duck lips, you call them duck lips. So here, somebody older but with acne, especially during the pandemic. Got so many people with that mask. You have to remember when you wear a mask, normally if I'm talking, lumalabas yung mga bacteria because the mouth is the dirtiest part of the body. But when you have your mask there, it just bounces back to your skin. And that's why you get a lot of acne. Next slide. Add the light again. So Donnie Pangilinan, the people know him here because he's the hottest guy in the Philippines right now.
So pogi.
So he's a guy who just doesn't really do a lot of skincare, but he just, men are like that. I love men patients because they're not good with skincare, but they're very loyal and they come back when you tell them to. Not like girls. They'll come to us, they'll go try someone else, and they'll come back to us and go, These guys are very loyal. They won't move because they're already happy and comfortable. And look at the pores, so beautiful. Next slide.
Pogi nga si Donnie.
So this is Rahil. Mr. M told me, Mr. Manahan, Johnny Manan, said he's going to be the next big star, but his skin is so bad. So can you please help him? He says it's in the eyes. Okay, so he discovered Richard Gomez, Piolo Pascual, Derek Ramsey. So let's see if he's right about Rahil. But here he is before, oily, pimply, large pores, and here he is after we treated him with Abolite. Next slide. Normal people, people always say, why don't you feature normal people? Okay, we'll feature normal. Then when I feature normal people, they won't like it. Who's that? Okay, but anyway, here she is. She's a marketing girl, so I can put her on the screen. But I said, you cannot be in marketing and look like that. Okay, we have to fix you. So here she is before and after Adelaide. Next slide. Wow. So, not just Adelaide, but Vivace and Virtue are also good for acne. For men, if they're super oily, we do both Adelaide and Vivace or Virtue. Here's the before and after. You can see the face gets smaller, the pores get smaller, the oiliness is controlled. Next slide. And here's another one. Okay, next slide. And then of course the Zeo Skin Health, which I just want you to know, we have our Belo. That's when I don't like kulang ang products in Zeo, that's when I'll make something. But otherwise, I'll just leave it to him. Next slide. Facial enhancement. Okay, let's go a little more than skin deep. Next slide. Non-surgical, but still a little deeper. So now thread lifts are the in thing. So finally, after 6 years of doing thread lifts, Alex Gonzaga has admitted to doing thread lifts on her nose. So you can see that, if her nose is wider, we just did thread lifts, it takes 30 minutes. It's higher now and it's more narrow. Next slide. Surgical. Of course, you can go non-surgical and surgical. So thread lifts are if you don't want any downtime, or you're not sure if you're ready for a nose lift. But once you're ready for a nose lift, then it's much better to just do a rhino so you can forget about it. Next slide. Rhinoplasty. So this is Brian Boy Kambao, for those who know him. He's a fashion influencer. And I think he looks, he's very European and blonde. But this is how he looked when he came, and this is how he looks now. Next slide. That's for men. Then for women, we really try to go for natural nose lifts. You have to tell us what kind of nose you want, because basically it's bespoke. But personally, I like it to be natural, so here's wider, outer trimming, and just a little rhino. Next slide.
Oh, it's too funny.
There. Very natural, right? Normally, people don't know. Next. Eye lifts. So eye lifts can be because they're sagging and you can pull them, or also because you don't have, so you need like a more open lid. So I just did my eyelids. I did it for the third time. You kind of have to do it every 10 years. But it looks really nice, and then my eyes are open again as before. It's like this already. Next slide. So somebody who doesn't have, who has a mono lid, and you want, it's much prettier to have a nice double lid. And it's so natural and no scars. If ever there are scars, they disappear, I promise, in like 4 months. Next slide. Here's Anthony Pangilinan, the dad of Donnie. He's a motivational speaker, but he said, I always look tired, please do my eyes. So we did it. We took out his eye bags. But he didn't want his upper lids done yet, so now we can do that using cold rejuvenation, using amino acids that lift the eyes. Next slide. Okay, so my favorite procedure and the whole, this is what started I owe my life to fat. So when I trained in the States, I went to Harvard to study lasers, and there's a new way of doing liposuction, which is called the tumescent liposuction technique, invented by a derma. I studied that here with Dr. Klein, pretty close by. I don't know, what is he? Jolly? Anyway, it's like near Costa Mesa, so this is near, right? But I stayed there for about a year studying with him to remove fat. Next slide. The nice thing about it, this was minor surgery, local anesthesia with light sedation, and it was compared to the old lipo where you had to stay in the hospital. But anyway, let's go to the non-surgical first. So we have several ways to do this now. V-Contour is the injection where you inject and the fat melts. on the cool waves is microwave energy to make the, shape the body if you're not too big. And M Sculpt Neo, finally we have something that addresses muscle, because we're just talking about skin, and then fat removal, and then the muscles loose. So now we have M Sculpt Neo, which works fantastically for the abdominal muscles. It's like doing 20,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes. I use it for my butt, so I had no butt before, and now I have
Oh, I like
a butt. But
But
the problem is all my jeans didn't fit anymore, so I had to change all my clothes. Good reason to shop. And look now, I'm really just all exposed to my butt. Okay, so M-Spot Neo is amazing on the butt. So you don't have to do that Brazilian butt lift because it's not so safe. And this one's muscles, not fat, right? So it really stays perky. Next slide. So we contour, so this is Vice Ganda, if you recognize. So that's chubby around the face. We did V-contour on his face, and now he calls it Hugis Bigas. So I function Bigas. Next slide. On the cool waves is for people who are not really big, but just, have problem areas. So here we have a before and after. Our model for this is Solen Yousaf. She just gave birth, so she's doing it on the cool waves again. Next slide. There she is.
Wow.
Looking great. Okay. M Sculpt Neo. It works so if you have even wrinkly skin, it helps tightens the muscles, melts some fat. So overall, it's really a good treatment for everything. Next slide. Surgical. So if you want one time, big time, let's get it over with. And I want my ideal body, because sometimes when you do the non-surgical, you do get smaller, but you can't really be sagad, or what do you call it when you really remove everything snatched? Okay, so lipo, we call it 360-degree lipo. So in Belo, we lipo 360 degrees, so you look good front, side, back, and side. Not like some doctors, because they use general anesthesia, which is not safe to begin with, really, for lipo, since it's a minor procedure. They only do the front, because you can't turn the patient around in general. Also, because we use mostly tumescent and twilight, we stand you up at the end, and then we sculpt you so you look good. Because it's not good to just look good lying down. You need to look good when you're standing up. So we lipo you perfectly, as perfect as you can, lying down, then we stand you up. And I actually do the lipo while you're standing up, so that I can, because the leg falls different and the fat falls different. Next slide. So here's our typical patient. This is 50% of our patients. People have had 3 kids. Every kid, they develop more fat, right? It always adds, God is a man, because he keeps giving you new fat for every new baby. Instead of, you already had fat before, it didn't go away, you could have just kept that. But and then when the placenta goes away, the fat stays. Diba? Should have been that because you need fat to comfort your baby, so it's comfortable in a cushion. But you don't want it to stay. So anyway, after giving birth, it's not going to go away with diet and exercise, very rarely, because it's hormone related. It's not because you ate too much and you're takaw, it's just because when you're pregnant, the hormones will do to your body deposit fat around here. Plus, Filipinos have a tendency here. Caucasians have a tendency here. So we always, no matter how thin a person, we still lipo here. So here's her before and after. So you get rid of all the bulges. Next slide. It's also a head start. A lot of people tell us this is Bianca Valerio. She's a very popular host and model, but she gained a lot of weight because of she was eating her emotions. She was stressed. So, in order to get back to work, they really say people who look good earn 20% more than people who don't. Then they get hired more. So here she is before and after. And of course, my model of all models is Jinky Pacquiao. Here she was after 5 kids. And this is Jinky before, and this is her now. So, it really is a life-changing procedure. And she's really kept it by herself. No more procedures after that. Anyway, so that's it. And that's it. You can ask me for other questions. I didn't want to make the talk too long. Next slide, please. So why should you trust only Belo Medical Group? Yes, why? Why? Because number one, we have the most experience. We've done this for 33 years. We have 14 clinics all over the Philippines. We know Asian skin. I can't tell you how many people have their noses done here or their eyes done here, and then they come back and I have to redo it. We have to redo it. Because Asian skin and Caucasian skin are miles apart. Caucasian skin doesn't scar. You can do whatever you want. It's very rare that you get any problems. Asian skin, get bitten by a mosquito, it's dark. You cut the eye, can you imagine if you had a scar showing? That's really bad. Or a rhino. Here in the States, they make the noses small. Right? They're usually big and they make them small. In the Philippines, we normally have big rounded noses. So sometimes it just doesn't quite translate, so it's better to have it there. We have skilled and expert doctors who've been with me. All my doctors have been with me. A lot of them, 20 years, 30 years. The new ones, we always train them for a very long time. We never just let them go out there. So we have a training program that's 6 to 9 months to do it the Belo way. That's just like McDonald's. There is a Belo way. Next slide. We're also world-renowned, so we're not just known in the Philippines. We receive so many awards all over the world. In the Philippines, we basically received all the awards. But abroad, we also are well-known. We keep giving talks abroad as experts on Asian skin. Recently, we just won an AMWC, which is in Monaco. That's the best energy device results. And that's wonderful because energy devices are lasers, radio frequency, microneedling, any ultrasound, in all that category, we want the best results. So I think we're very proud of that. Next slide. I also give a lot of talks abroad, so we're recognized as experts around the world. This is my latest talk last January in Paris. Next slide. So now I told you I need to video this so you can come out on my Instagram. We'll do it. Okay, but so in order to get your giveaways, you have to watch them. You have to say this line, okay? Holy Belo touches my skin. Who touches yours? Okay, if it's feeding. If not, you don't get your giveaways, okay? Okay, so I'll start for this, so we can see if you're really doing it. I'll start from this table this way. Okay, guys, are you ready? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Only Belo touches my skin. Who touches yours?
We do give giveaways in that table because they weren't doing it. Wait, did I see you guys? I didn't join them. They did well. Okay, this side. From this side onward. Ready? A little louder. Can you do it better than them?
Oh, yes.
Ready, set, go!
Only Belo touches my skin. Who touches yours?
Very good. Woo! And on that note, thank you for being such a wonderful audience. I don't know if you want, I think we're hungry, so we eat. I can answer questions individually or together. What do you want? Miss Pen, ano gusto mo? Okay, eatin mo na sila. And then I'll just stop while you're eating. If somebody has a question, so everybody can learn. Okay, because I know I'm hungry too. Thank you. Yes.
I have a microphone here.
Pala. What do we do? Okay, so we are going to give gifts for people who listen well.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So this is my product. Okay. So collagen, I told you lose collagen for every year of life. You cannot eat collagen, by the way. You can buy, I think steak gives me collagen or stuff like that because it's too big of you cannot digest it. It's hard. So the best way to get collagen is to have it pre-digested and so your body can use it. So this is my gift box. Meron pa siyang roller. But you get a box of collagen, then you get a mug to put it in, and then I think this is a mirror. Parang cute siya.
Aww.
Okay. Pero paano to? What are the metallics? Are they named somewhere? Or are they registered so we can raffle it? Or should I ask questions?
You would.
Kasi maybe you can ask questions. Okay.
Let's see if they're paying attention, though.
Yeah, let's see if you're paying attention.
Oh no.
So I have to make it a little hard, I'm sorry.
So just raise your hand and I'll run to you, okay? The first person to raise your hand.
Okay, what do you call the procedure where you combine soft wave
Oh, we have our hands up already.
Dermo sample.
Yes, so,
Dermo.
Yes.
Zoom in.
Yay! What's your name? Christina. Alright, can you give it to Christina?
Wow, lucky.
Okay, I need official name. Okay, I matched it twice.
Wow. Very nice.
Okay, so you know we do light suction, right? But it's a specific name of the light suction. There are actually two names. Either one I'll accept. So,
We have
are you ready? You have to raise your hand, is it not? I won't go. You know you have to go that way if somebody's there.
Okay, we have-
Somebody here answer that.
Arvin.
Are you? Okay.
She's the first one.
Okay, sige.
360 degrees.
Yes, 360-degree light. Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, guys, let's eat. Come on.
Oh, katuwa yung talk ni Belo. Nandun yung iba sa aking Instagram live.
Yours is it.